People always talk about real estate investing as one of the surest way to build your wealth and help you reach financial independence. In this video, we're going through the whole process of how to close your first rental successfully so that your money start working harder for you so you don't have to. Step one, decide what asset you're going to invest in. There are many different types of assets to invest in other than single family homes. A few assets I want to kind of list over here should be of your consideration. Of course, the single family homes, small fourplexes, duplexes, triplexes. Also, maybe there are some more alternative resources like mobile home parks or storage. Go to conferences to learn them is the best way. Get exposed to all different concepts and choose one that you feel really comfortable with and go deep in your study. And making sure the asset that you choose really aligns with your retirement goal. For example, if you want to retire in 5 years, it is really not very important that the asset cash flow a lot of money right now, but instead focus on growing equity first, then making sure you're putting the money into an asset that will generate more cash flow later on, targeting 5-year exit. Maybe a better strategy than buying a property that cash flow somewhat right now but has no growth potential. Another example, if you want to preserve wealth, then buying an asset and a very clean asset in a highly desirable neighborhood that doesn't maybe yield too much of a cash flow, just enough to kind of cover your mortgage and maybe a little bit more, maybe is the right way to go, because that's the best property to preserve someone's capital. Second step, find your market. Markets is so important. For example, someone who invested in Mississippi in the last 10 years perhaps didn't make a lot in their equity growth, but someone who is invested in Phoenix market in the last 10 years, their wealth potentially has grown 10 times. So selecting market is really, really important. My method of doing this is selecting 3 markets that you may be interested in investing in. Typically, they are somewhere that you are willing to travel to, because let's face it, even when you have the best team on the ground, you sometimes still have to go visit the properties. The most important part of selecting the location is to make sure that it has a really solid population growth. A population growth will lead to a strong demand for rental. And after all, we're in rental business, and you definitely want to have a lot of good tenants to choose from. For how to find your market, check out our other video on this. We also have an article on our EasyFI University talked about the top markets to investing in. Definitely visit the market, making sure you take a drive down the neighborhoods, get to know the neighborhoods before you actually start offering offers in the properties. Taking a vacation in the market is a great way to get to know that market very well. Third, assemble a team. If you don't want to invest into your backyard, this one becomes even more important, because you want to make sure there's eyes, ears on the ground for you to make sure you get the most out of your investment. Property management is the most important team member anyone would need it. Even if you're investing in your local backyard, you still want to make sure that there is a property manager that can help you to do all the things professionally. When you're selecting a market, you may want to start with one that where you have friends, family, or acquaintance or colleagues. This way, someone can go check on the property on behalf of you should you later on get into any troubles with property management. Aside from your property manager, you should also build a network of people who can help you serve the property and find the property. For example, wholesaler, realtors that is focused on investors, and also vendors and contractors that help you execute your business plan. Step 4, knowing your numbers. This one is really important, because if you don't know your number, you're not running a business. You're just being a landlord. Understanding a consistent way to evaluate a property helps you ensure your property matches your investment goals. For a single family home, by doing analysis and research on comparable property rents is going to help you understand what is your income potential for the property. Then work on budgeting on the expenses with your property manager to make sure there's a solid budget for your expenses. Lastly, putting income and expenses together, you're going to have a reasonable projection for how your property would cash flow. Step 5, getting your funding. You need to have money to invest. Most people will save up for their first rental and then use that as a down payment. So at minimum, you should get familiar with some of the local lenders in the market. Your most important step will be obtaining lending. In single family home investment, you can get a pre-approval letter from lenders, then go bidding on property. This is going to make sure that you appear to be professional on the transaction, and also the seller is going to look favorably on the quote that have pre-approval. For commercial properties, there isn't pre-approval. However, talking with lender, establish some preferred relationship will be really helpful, because these are going to be the people, once you're under contract, that's going to help you shop the rate. Even before you get into contract, I use my lender to estimate on what the loan is going to be, and this is going to make my bids look a lot stronger to the seller. For some people that don't have the money yet, you will need to be more creative about this. There are solutions such as owner financing, partnerships, and raise capital from friends and family that will be more labor intensive, but it can be done. Step 6, make offers. You cannot really be an investor if you're not investing. The first step to that is, of course, make offers. Getting your pre-approval letter is really important when you're first buying a single family or small residential plexus. And working with an investor-oriented real estate is really important, because these are going to be the real estate investors that are good with the numbers and able to help you double check your evaluation of the rental property. Then just make offers, make multiple offers. Do not expect your first offer will be accepted. This is a great exercise. The more you do it, the better you will get at it. Step 7, doing proper due diligence. Hire a third-party inspector is super important on a first transaction. In fact, today in all our transactions, we still use the third-party inspector to give us an honest, unbiased opinion. You don't want to be surprised when you buy a property and now all of a sudden you have a major repair to do. Again, your property management can be a big help in this process to help you find an inspector, as well as obtain contractor bids, which you can use to negotiate for that concession. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If you like the content, please like and subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you in the next video.